Good evening, everyone. I'm so humbled to have this opportunity to be able to learn with you. My name is Catherine Chacha. In the Forever Marketing Plan, I am a recognized manager. I'm a lifestyle coach and entrepreneur. Tonight, I want to address the issue of hormonal imbalance. And I want to also quickly remind you to maybe invite a friend or two, because I believe the topic we are going to cover affects so many people, so many women. And I don't take it for granted that we are here today. So we start by thanking God and thanking you all. And maybe we can start by typing in the chat box where you're joining us from. I'm joining you from here in Nairobi. Maybe I can see where our fellow FBOs are joining us from. So I will start by explaining why I feel the need to talk about this topic. I'm actually passionate about women empowerment and women's health, to be in particular, because I believe women's health is a nation's health. And when women thrive, families flourish, communities prosper, and economies grow. So one thing, maybe because March is dedicated to women, and I felt the need to also jump in and talk about this topic, because I believe that as a woman, most of the time our roles, we are the people who are serving meals in our homes. We're the people who are, our main role as a gender is nurturing. So I believe that when you are taking good care of yourself holistically, I believe that your family is healthy, and because you cannot give from an empty self. So I know that when you are conscious about your health, you're also conscious about the health of everyone around you, in your family, in your society, or wherever you are joining us from. Yeah. So I serve the world by empowering busy professionals and entrepreneurs to integrate mindfulness and self-care into their daily routines, and helping them achieve work-life balance, of course, leading to more fulfilled lives. Yeah. So that's why I always talk about self-care being a holistic approach of, taking good care of yourself. And you will understand this as we move on through the presentation, because as you are keen with what you're eating and the lifestyle choices that you're making, it has a direct impact on everything that we're going to be talking about. So even when you mention self-care, it's not just about going to the spa and all the beauty routines that we normally see. Actually it's deeper than that. We are talking about physical self-care, we're talking about emotional, mental self-care, we're talking about social self-care, we're talking about financial self-care, we're talking about professional self-care. So all these things affect us in one way or another. And as we are going through the session, we're going to learn more. So I recently had a team of friends of mine that we've been on a weight loss journey, and I realized that some of us were really struggling, and that's when I probably thought about diving deep into this topic. How you're able to achieve balance by balancing your hormones, looking at your gut health, and also losing with a goal of losing weight. Have you ever struggled at any point in time with stubborn weight, bloating, cravings, or low energy? Yeah. I don't know if you found yourself in such a situation. Have you found yourself, do you feel like no matter what you eat or all the exercise regimes that you're trying to do, the body is not responding? Maybe the issue could be that your hormones are out of balance. And also when your hormones are out of balance, there's also a correlation with your gut health. So we are going to look at all this, and we figure out and see where how can we be able to improve our well-being by balancing our hormones. So what are hormones? Hormones are chemical messengers produced by endocrine glands such as the thyroid, the adrenal gland, the ovaries, the pancreas, that regulate various bodily functions, including your metabolism, the reproduction system, your mood, and overall health. Yeah. So when you talk about hormonal imbalance, it occurs when there is too much or too little of a particular hormone in the bloodstream. Okay. So hormones are, of course, your body's communicators, and they are made from the food that we eat. In this particular session, I'm going to talk to you as a wellness consultant. But one thing I'm really proud of and grateful for is that we have amazing doctors in the forum who can also be able to expound more on this, and they have trained us a lot. So we are going to not go so deep into it. What I want is for you to understand and be curious, and try to figure out, maybe this is one of the things that could be affecting you, and you can seek help, and you are in the right place. Yeah. So one, we're going to look at your thyroid. Your thyroid, which controls your metabolism. The thyroid gland produces a hormone called thyroxine, which controls your metabolism, the rate at which you burn the fuel from the food to make energy, and also, of course, generate heat. If you have an overactive thyroid, you feel wired, you're most likely very slim. And while your thyroid is underactive, you can always, most of the time, you find that you're feeling tired, and you tend to put on a lot of weight. When you have a low thyroid function, it's due to producing, it's due to not producing enough thyroxine, often caused by nutrient deficiencies, high stress levels, or an immune system that is malfunctioning. So right up there already, I've already talked about nutrients, which is one thing you probably need to keep in mind. Yeah. So the hormones are made from the food that we are eating. So that means that if the food we are eating doesn't have enough nutrients, definitely there is an issue there to be sorted. Yeah. So you find that if your the thyroxine is made from amino acids called tyrosine, and they're supported by iodine, zinc, and selenium. So when we talk about having enough nutrients in your diet, it's very, very crucial. Then we go to stress hormones. Your body produces hormones which help you adapt to stress. These are made by adrenal glands. They may help us respond to stressful or emergency situations by channeling the body's energy towards fight or flight mode, improving oxygen and glucose supply to muscles, generating mental and physical energy. So when you're having experiencing too much stress, you're releasing bursts of energy over time, and it slows down digestion. It tends to speed up the aging process. It tends to reduce libido, infertility, and menopausal problems. Yeah. So, and in our modern, society right now, most of the time we take a lot of stimulants like coffee, we take a lot of chocolates, those people who are smoking as well. You tend to have a lot of stimulants in the system, which of course they accelerate that. So when you have a lot of stress in your system, it disrupts a lot of things, which you are going to see as well. So your thyroid will keep on suffering, yeah, and it can lead to reduced libido, as I've mentioned, infertility, and menopausal challenges. Then we go to the sex hormones. In women, the two main hormones that control the sexual health and reproduction are estrogen and progesterone. A relative excess of estrogen, called estrogen dominance, is associated with increased risk in breast cancer, fibroids, ovarian cysts, and endometriosis. There's a very good training session that was done by our great leader, Madam Josephine, on this topic. And probably for those who would be most concerned, and maybe they don't know, you can check that on our YouTube channel. She really went very deep into this topic. So it's very important for us to think about this. So when you have estrogen dominance, it causes an exposure, and it could be probably even lack of progesterone, or a combination of both. Yeah. So estrogen is contained in most birth control pills and that we normally use, and sometimes misuse. Yeah. One thing I probably would be talking about as well as we move along. And remember, even deficiencies of vitamins and minerals are also needed to regulate these hormones. So Again, that's one thing we need to know. When we talk about uh, 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 premenstrual syndrome as well. Yeah, this is also in line with the sex hormones. You find that it affects women in different ways, mostly, the week leading to the time when we have our periods, a lot of anxiety, a lot of irritability, a lot of mood swings. Yeah, you find that you're irritable, anything small, it tends to affect you. You find that sometimes there's you gaining so much weight. I don't know how crucial that maybe that's why I talk about self-care, because sometimes you find that you are in a space where you are not really sure what's happening. If you are not mindful about how you're feeling and the things that are affecting you, and you're not keen, probably you will overlook these things. But maybe the people around you will tell you when you tend to be a bit more, sensitive. Let me put it that way. Yeah. So it's very crucial for us to even get tested so that we understand which exact hormones are affecting us and how best to address them. So how hormonal imbalance affects us? How does it affect us? Because you see, as women, our hormones are fluctuating all through our lives, yeah, throughout the different stages, such as puberty, through menstruation, through pregnancy, postpartum, premenopause, and in the menopause stages as well. So, how does this hormonal imbalance impact us? One, you find that you have menstrual irregularities. Yeah, either the periods are irregular, they are heavy, or they are absent. That could be a sign that probably you need to have yourself checked. Maybe someone could be having painful menstrual cycle. Yeah, that's also could be another issue when you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which causes irregular periods and excess androgens, and of course predisposing someone to ovarian cysts. This is very crucial for one to note that you could be having a hormonal imbalance. Another way you could know that you're having a hormonal imbalance is fertility, and when you're experiencing fertility and reproductive health issues. Yeah, difficulty in conceiving, which is very common, especially in our current age compared to our parents' age, which is why I'm feeling that maybe it's because of the change of diet, many things that we are eating that our grandparents will not recognize as food. Yeah, so increased risk of miscarriages. This is very disheartening and happening a lot, and having a low libido or painful intercourse. All this could be due to reduced or low estrogen. Another issue could be weight gain and metabolism. Now, this one is really common, especially when you see yourself gaining unexplained weight, You're not able to control your cravings, especially around the abdomen, yeah, which is linked to the insulin resistance and cortisol imbalance. Difficulty in losing weight and sugar cravings and frequent hunger. You will learn that and why which hormone affects this as we move along. Skin and hair changes. You find that many times, especially for women and men during the puberty time, and also adults, yeah, experience acne, especially along the jawline. This could be because of excess androgens. Dry skin or premature aging, also because of oxygen depletion. Yeah, hair thinning or hair loss. That's also another thing. Excessive facial and body hair growth. That is also another way you will know that your hormones could be imbalanced. So these are some of the things, by the way, to take note when you're actually discussing or asking your client questions. Yeah, when you're asking your client questions, maybe you want to figure out what issue they could be, that you as a wellness consultant, as a wellness coach, what you want to assist them. So these are some of the things to look out for so that you can know what best to recommend. So when it comes to mood and mental health, most of the time when someone is going through anxiety and depression, it's related to serotonin fluctuations and adrenal hormone imbalances. Those are the stress hormones that I did mention in the beginning. Mood swings and irritability, brain fog and difficulty in concentrating. Yeah, take note of that. Other issues that also highlight that one could be struggling with hormonal imbalance are sleep disturbances and fatigue, insomnia or restlessness, due to high levels of cortisol, and low levels of progesterone. Chronic fatigue and sluggishness. I don't know what time I was listening to radio, and I had, I don't want to mention the route. Probably some of us are coming from that space, but you find that there are people when they are leaving work on their way home, or vice versa. When you're in the vehicle, most people are really asleep and tired. Probably these are some of the things we need to also consider, and see how we can be able to assist them. Night sweats and hot flashes, definitely very common in premenopause and menopause stages. So when also someone has digestive issues, bloating, constipation, increased sensitivity to certain foods, for example, the gluten, there are people who don't take gluten, there are people who don't take, who are lactose intolerant, yes, such issues. A sluggish metabolism, which also leads to digestive discomfort, will also be a sign that your hormones are out of balance. Bone and muscle health, increased risk of osteoporosis due to oxygen deficiency, and muscle weakness and joint pain. So when you find that most of these issues are probably issues that we probably could be experiencing, but we have overlooked them. So it's important for us to figure out and think, how best can we be able to address? Because I feel that when you address the issue of hormonal imbalance, you're able to address so many other issues related to, your lifestyle, and to help you look and feel better. So I just wanted to highlight the relationship between hormonal imbalance and weight management, and also gut health, especially. Yeah. So hormones play a critical role in regulating your weight, your metabolism, the digestion, and overall gut health. When hormones are out of balance, it can lead to weight gain, can lead to difficulty in losing weight, digestive issues, as I've mentioned, metabolic dysfunction. So understanding how different hormones interact with weight and gut health, it can help us make informed decisions. So especially if I've mentioned one or two things which already you can like tick, and probably I'll be doing a quiz shortly. Yeah. So you can be able to just check through and see if these are some of the issues that could be affecting you. So if you have a pen and paper, I am not a teacher, but I'm a daughter of a teacher. So every time you're having a training, every time I'm conducting a training, I always request that you have a pen and paper so that you can write one or two things. Maybe there's one, two things that you can be able to take home with you. So I hope you have a pen and paper. I have a quiz for both men and women. So for you to figure out where your hormones could be. So understanding, like I said, understanding how different hormones interact with weight and gut health can help women make informed decisions to restore balance and improve overall well-being. So what causes hormonal imbalance in women? One, chronic stress. Chronic stress. I don't think I can even explain that. That one is so self-explanatory. Poor diet. You find that most of us, the kind of foods that are, let me say, the kind of foods that are easily available and easy to reach and grab, for example, over lunch hour, maybe when you have very little time and you don't have time to, maybe you didn't, you're not the kind of person who carries your lunch to work. You prefer to eat from the hotel or whatever snack that comes in between, you find that most often than not, you will eat high sugar processed foods and foods that are, deeply fried, lots of oils, lots of fats. Many times you'll find ourselves choosing those kind of foods. And of course, they will disrupt insulin and estrogen balance. Yeah. So most of us, it's very hard for you to find someone who will go to a hotel and ask for a plate of vegetables and maybe some protein on top. Most of us, you'll find when you go to the restaurant, you'll see people with the plate is always full of carbohydrates and very little vitamins and very little proteins, just like that. So that's why I talk about the poor diet. Lack of sleep. How many hours do we sleep? Yeah. How many hours do you sleep on a daily basis, and do you monitor that? Because sometimes you find that even after work, you get home. Most of us, because of the habits that we have, we are on the phone, we are on TikTok, we are on different social media. Even when you get to bed and you're supposed to be sleeping, but you still extend because we don't do a digital detox. We tend to be on phone until very late. So you find that your brain has not rested enough. You wake up tired, and the story continues over and over. And definitely, this will affect your melatonin, cortisol, and growth hormones, several functions in the body. Birth control pills and hormone medications. Unfortunately, these are some of the okay, I don't want to prejudge, but I feel that these are some of the use of contraceptives sometimes is misused, and it's one of the contributing factors of hormonal imbalance in women a lot. And many times we are not even very keen to know which contraceptives go well with us. We just, just do what is available or what is accessible. And we are not keen because most of them are not really they have side effects. They have, let me say, just they have a lot of side effects, and sometimes it's good for us to be keen and know and really research on what works for you and what doesn't work for you, because I believe we are different, and it's very crucial for us to know the best way. Personally, from my own experience, I've learned a lot. I remember at some point I had so much acne, and I was given a contraceptive to help with the skin, and I just looked at that dermatologist and I was like, okay, I might not be a doctor, but I think this is causing too much more imbalance in my body. And of course, all these things that I'm mentioning, personally, I've experienced them, and that's why I feel it's just important to talk about them and give learn from each other as we move along. So another thing is thyroid disorders. Either your thyroid gland is either producing a lot of thyroxine or less, that is hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. I hope I'm saying it right. Another issue could be this condition of polycystic ovary syndrome, which causes excess androgen and insulin resistance. Of course, during the menopause, premenopause and menopause, also there is the decline of estrogen and progesterone, which affects women again on another grand scale. So sometimes it's important for us to just know what are some of these things that can predispose us from as we experience this, and figure out and try to get out of what we can handle, because obviously there are those things we can do something about, there are those which we can't. But I believe if there's something you can do about it, please do. So before we move along, I'm going to do a quiz, and this one I will read. So I do want to put it in the slide because I want to see if you people are keen. So if you're keen, you can be able to take advantage. So I'm going to start with the quiz, hormonal balance quiz for ladies. Ladies in the house, can you put hebu nione how many ladies tuko nao kwa group? Kwa call, maybe you can put on the chat box, type a number 2 so that I know how many ladies we have in the group. We have in the meeting, yeah. Type a 2 there so that I know. Yes, I can see several ladies have responded. Wonderful. So have a pen and paper, and I want you to listen to the question because I will read it once. There are 10 questions I'm going to read in this quiz. So if one relates with you, you type you just put a tick. So there'll be 10. If it doesn't relate with you, just put an X. So question number 1: do you use contraceptives, or have you been on any other contraceptives for more than 3 years in the last 7 years? That is question number 1. Number 2: are your periods often painful, irregular, or heavy? Question number 3: do you suffer from lumpy or tender breasts? Question number 4: do you have fertility problems, difficulty in conceiving, or a history of miscarriage? So this is very personal. You don't have to, you don't have to put in the chat box, but just note it for you. Next, do you experience cyclical, water retention, mood swings, or depression? Next, do you have excess hair on your body or thinning hair on your scalp? Have you gained weight on your thighs and hips? Have you at any time been bothered with problems affecting your reproductive organs, that is ovaries, womb, your reproductive system? Do you suffer from reduced libido or loss of interest in sex? Do you suffer from anxiety, panic attack, or nervousness? And lastly, do you suffer from hot flashes or vaginal pain or dryness? Those are the 10 questions that I have for ladies. Wow, I can see we have many ladies in the meeting. So you give yourself a score because I'll be having as we complete the session, I will have answers in 3 categories. If you said 0 to 3 answers yes, that is category 1. Category 2, if you said 4 to 6 answers yes, and category 3 is if you said yes to more than 7 questions. That is another category. Hello, men, are you there? Maybe I can now have the men type number 3 on the chat box so that I know if there are men, I will also include a male hormone balance quiz. Ah, brilliant. You can see there are men in our group. Thank you, men, for coming for this session, because all this that we are learning, we're going to support our women. There's a very special place, by the way, for men who support women. So I'm going to talk about men, and I'm also going to, still going to have the same questions, 10. Yes, 10 questions. So for men, grab your pen and paper. You don't need to remember, like I said again, you don't need to disclose this. This is just for you, for your own knowledge. 1, are you gaining weight? 2, do you suffer from fatigue or loss of energy? 3, do you often suffer from mood swings or depression? I can see someone has said 8 yes. Ooh, okay. Then, do you suffer from irritability and anger? I believe we're in question number 5. Have you at any time been bothered with problems affecting your reproductive organs, that is issues with prostate health? Yeah. Have you had a drop in your motivation and drive? Do you suffer from reduced libido or loss of interest in sex? Do you easily become stressed? Do you suffer from impotence? Do you have fewer morning erections or difficulty maintaining an erection? Do you have night sweats or suffer from excessive sweating? Do you feel that you are aging prematurely? Do you easily become stressed? I think I've repeated that. Yeah, so those are the questions that I have for the male hormone balance quiz. So again, same thing. If you've answered 0 to 3 as a yes, you're in category 1. If you've answered 4 to 6 yes, you're in category 2. And if you've answered more than 7 yeses, you're in category 3. So I'll give the answers and explain more. Now let's see the next phase. So we are talking about key hormones that affect weight and gut health in women. The role of estrogen and progesterone is you find that they regulate fat storage, metabolism, and appetite. So these hormones fluctuate throughout a woman's life, particularly during menstruation, pregnancy, premenopause, and menopause. Remember, I'd mentioned that before. So regarding these particular hormones, if you have low estrogen, most often than not, you'll find that you have increased belly fat and a slow metabolism, and insulin resistance and a poor digestion. So you see, if your estrogen levels are out of balance, this is what you most likely will expect. If the estrogen is high, you find that you have water retention, bloating, fat accumulation around your hips and thighs. If your progesterone levels are low, again, same thing. Of course, when it tends to have like a differential way, the estrogen and the progesterone. So water retention, bloating, mood swings, and cravings for sugary foods. Case in point, craving for sugary foods. So you could be dealing with a client who probably wants to lose weight. They are doing the right thing, but they have the cravings because the hormones are out of balance. We'll talk about that. You find that insulin is responsible for regulating blood sugar levels and converting glucose into energy. It influences fat storage and metabolism as well. So if you have insulin resistance, which is common in the polycystic ovary syndrome, when you have high stress levels and you are on a poor diet, again, most likely you find that it will cause weight gain. So even if you're on a weight loss journey, you find that things are not working out, difficulty in losing weight, sugar cravings, again, as I mentioned, fatigue. You tend to be on a yo-yo effect, yeah, especially with fat storage around your belly. So if your insulin levels are, out of balance, you find that you have frequent blood sugar spikes. So you don't feel full. You're always feeling like you need to eat from time to time. Yeah. You have a very sluggish digestion. Yeah. That is, of course, an imbalance in the gut bacteria. That one will cover it as well. So when you talk about the cortisol levels, that is the stress hormone, which is released in response to stress, as I'd mentioned in the beginning of the session, affecting metabolism, digestion, and appetite. So when you have chronic stress, meaning high cortisol, definitely the chances of you struggling with belly fat is very high because you have increased appetite, cravings for sugary foods, high calorie foods. Yeah. Every break, you just want to take tea and maybe lots and lots of white, what can I say, these wheat products, mandazis and, white foods, I will say, white rice, white bread. You want bread all the time, You understand those foods that our grandparents do not recognize as food. Those which are packaged, let me put it that way, and they stay fresh for a long time on in our cardboard, or they don't even need refrigeration. Those ones, yeah. Excess cortisol promotes fat storage around the abdomen. It slows down digestion, leading to bloating, constipation, and gut inflammation. Low cortisol, when the adrenal gland is experiencing fatigue, you find that you have low energy, a very slow metabolism, and poor digestion. So you find if you're stressed, this is what most people, maybe you get in touch with your client and figure out how can you assist them, because if stress is rampant, definitely many other functions in the body are affected. When we look at the thyroid hormone, I think this one we had already talked about, controlling metabolism, digestion, energy, production. So this one I'm just highlighting the key hormones and what you likely be experiencing if they're out of balance, yeah? So like I'd mentioned, an underactive thyroid, definitely you will have a weight gain, slow digestion, fatigue, leading to slow metabolism, constipation, difficulty breaking down. So sometimes by then it's very important. You could be dealing with, maybe you're helping someone to fix their gut health, and probably they also need a hormonal imbalance pack. Why the reason I've highlighted these issues is because I want you to see the relationship and why we need to, really understand our bodies and be able to explain that to the people who are supporting us, our wellness consultants, our coaches, so that they can be able to help you with the right thing that you need. Okay. So an overactive thyroid, definitely you'll find that you have an intentional weight loss and loose stool. Yeah. Ghrelin and leptin, these are very interesting. Ghrelin signals the hunger, signals hunger to the brain, and leptin signals fullness and helps regulate fat storage. So if you have leptin resistance, which is very common in people with obesity, the body doesn't recognize that you're full. So you end up eating and eating and eating and eating. If your ghrelin levels are high, you tend to have poor sleep, chronic stress, unbalanced, and probably your diet is unbalanced. So increased appetite and cravings. Again, you see the cycle. I hope you can see the cycle, like it's a yo-yo effect in one way. I don't know. I hope that has come out very clearly, because it's very important for us to know the relationship. So hormones directly influence the gut function, the microbiome balance, the digestion and inflammation. An imbalanced gut can worsen hormonal issues, creating a vicious cycle, which is what I was trying to highlight, especially in this training. So the gut microbiome and hormonal imbalance. The gut microbiome, that is the trillions of bacteria in the intestines, which help us in metabolizing, in the metabolism. They also regulate hormones like estrogen and insulin. So if you have an imbalance in the gut, definitely the imbalance extends to hormonal imbalance. Please stop writing on the screen so that all of us can see clearly. When you have poor gut health, increased estrogen dominance, insulin resistance, and inflammation tends to be a concern for you. Yeah. So how does this happen? The estrogen and the gut health. The gut health plays a role in breaking down and eliminating estrogen. So if you have poor gut health, definitely you'll be struggling with constipation, dysbiosis, estrogen reabsorption, estrogen dominance. These ones I've already explained. If you have inflammation and leaky gut, which is mostly resulting to chronic inflammation, and then the leaky gut syndrome increases cortisol and insulin resistance, making weight loss even harder. Leaky gut can worsen conditions like polycystic ovary syndrome, thyroid disorders, and metabolic syndrome. So you see, if your gut is also out of balance, it's worsening your hormonal imbalance. That is basically the thing that I'm trying to highlight. I hope you can be able to see this. Slow digestion and bloating. So when you have a low thyroid function and the progesterone imbalance, it slows down digestion, leading to bloating, gas, and constipation. High stress and cortisol can cause irritable bowel syndrome, and I think these ones we've already talked about them. So how do we balance our hormones for better weight management and gut health? Let's go and look at the solutions, yeah? Because I think I've explained more on what happens I don't want to go so deep, but explained how you can tell that you are struggling with either of these things and how you can be able to deal with that. One, look at your diet. Diet for hormonal imbalance and gut health is very, very crucial. Increase fiber intake. Fiber helps with digestion and supporting the gut bacteria, the good bacteria. Yeah, fiber really helps, especially with the, let me say, like a prebiotic. Yeah, so you have vegetables, flaxseed oils, chia seeds. Consume most of that. Consume healthy fats which support hormone production. Very, very important. Avocado, olive oil, fish oils. We're going to see most of that. Balance your sugar levels. Very, very, very crucial. Eat a lot more of protein and complex carbohydrates to prevent insulin spikes. So, for example, if you take breakfast, bread and tea, and at lunchtime, you find that if it is white bread, what can I say, processed simple carbohydrates. Let me just put it this way. If you keep eating simple carbohydrates, what happens is that your sugar levels spike and they crash down very fast. So try and have more of complex carbs in your diet. Most of the time, especially I know most of the clients we advise them to make sure that half of your plate is vegetables, different colors, and make sure that the complex carbohydrates we're talking about, like the brown bread, the brown, brown rice, complete wheat. Please stop writing on this screen. It's kind of distracting. I'm sorry. Then include probiotics and fermented foods which support gut health and estrogen metabolism, like yogurt, kimchi, and sauerkraut. Stay hydrated, drink a lot of water. We normally advise at least 8 glasses. Yeah. At least even in most of our fitness programs, we advise to do that. So personally, I advise my clients take at least 2 liters of water. 2 liters. Actually, what you do is you look at you assess yourself. Your weight divide by 30. So if you are 60, it means you need to be taking 2 liters. If you are more than that, divide by 30, and you need to take that much amount of water on a daily basis. Avoid processed sugars and refined carbohydrates, as I've mentioned. This reduces insulin resistance and cravings. Reduce dairy and gluten if you are sensitive. There are those of us who are sensitive to these types of foods, so that it helps you to overcome bloating and inflammation. Manage stress to lower cortisol levels in your body. How do we do that? By practicing mindfulness, yoga, meditation, taking time, to breathe, relax, rest. Hello, that's where self-care comes in. Yeah. Get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. I don't know how possible this is, and especially in Nairobi, the way we normally have a very, very busy lifestyle. But I know that if you're intentional about it, you can be able to organize yourself and rest adequately. At least 7 hours, I know you can. Engage in light to moderate exercise. This one I will always emphasize and emphasize and emphasize. Exercise helps a lot, a lot, a lot, not just in weight management and stuff, but it helps in overall your overall health as well. Yeah. Support thyroid function by eating foods rich in iodine. Yeah, like seaweeds, selenium, Brazil, nuts, zinc. Avoid excess soy and processed foods. Now, I think I've mentioned all this. So I've mentioned balanced diet, I've mentioned regular exercise, stress management, limit stimulants such as coffee, tea, supplements, which is very, very important. I will tell you why we supplement. Sometimes we don't have time to go look for these foods which are rich with all the nutrients, even the ones I've just mentioned. Yeah. Sometimes even the foods that we eat, the essential nutrients in there are not adequate in the food. In fact, when you, through the process of preparing that food, you bought it, you prepared it, you put it in the fridge, and then at some point maybe you didn't consume all of it. You put it, you put it in the fridge, then you warm it up again in the microwave. I'm telling you, the amount of nutrients that you need keep depleting, especially even when we're talking about vegetables. Yeah, supplementing is so important. Looking at the levels of even nutrients, the levels of minerals in the soils right now. Yeah, our soils are depleted. There's very little nutrients in there. Pollution, a lot of things are impacting the foods that you're eating that you find you cannot, not in this era right here, right now, 2025, you cannot overlook supplementing. It's something that you just have to. And I'll talk more about that very shortly. Consider vitamin D, B3, B6, omega-3 essential oils, magnesium, adaptogen herbs like maca, hydration, drink enough water. Limit toxins, reduce exposure to endocrine disruptors found in plastics, pesticides, and certain beauty products. Now, at this point, I want to talk about supplements which are helping us a lot. And now that we have seen the concerns that we are addressing, so when you're addressing hormonal imbalance, it's not just that. At the back of your mind, remember you also are helping someone to balance their gut, help them also to balance their gut, help them also to manage their blood sugar levels, which of course will help and translate in issues to do with weight. So we have an amazing aloe vera drink called the aloe berry nectar. This aloe vera drink helps to detoxify your body, to remove toxins and support hormonal imbalance. It helps with liver detoxification, of course, by processing excess hormones like estrogen and helping to prevent a hormonal imbalance. It's very rich with cranberries and apple juice, which support the body in reducing inflammation. Inflammation causes hormonal changes. Yeah. This aloe vera also supports the urinary tract health. Cranberries are very good for this, by the way. They prevent infections and improve kidney function, and they also play a very key role in hormones regulation. Aloe berry nectar, on top of that, it boosts your gut health, boosts your immunity, yeah, helps with the digestion, yeah, which is crucial for hormonal balance, as a healthy gut can lead to estrogen dominance. So the aloe vera in it, there are so many benefits of drinking this aloe. It will also clean your internal organs, like I mentioned, help with your skin, which is the largest organ. So especially if the hormonal imbalance has caused acne, this is one of the key products that we need to have for us. In fact, it is a product of the month. Yeah, so we are really making sure that at least each and everyone gets to drink this product so that it can be able to help you, address all these concerns. So boosting immunity is also another thing that you get benefit from by taking the aloe vera. Yeah. Next, because of time, I'll rush through, and we can be able to do more and more research later. We have the Vitalize for Women. This is if you're talking about one supplement that addresses almost all the concerns of women, Forever was very, very smart to come up with this product, which helps to balance this estrogen and progesterone. This Vitalize contains passion flower, apple powder, and Sandra berry, which help regulate menstrual cycle and menopausal symptoms. The hot flashes I was talking about, all those challenges. It also supports reproductive health. It helps with PMS, menopause, and overall hormonal wellness. It enhances your mood and reduces stress. Vitamins B6, I think I had mentioned before, the magnesium I had mentioned before, which support the adrenal health. Yeah, very, very crucial, very important. It helps to reduce stress-related hormonal imbalances. It improves the urinary tract health. So ladies, taking care of your reproductive health, this is one thing that you cannot afford to miss. It contains cranberry fruit powder, which supports a healthy urinary system, crucial for hormone detox. Yeah, among so many other functions in the body. So we also have the multi-marker, Forever multi-marker, which is a hormone booster and libido enhancer. Remember, sometimes hormones can also make someone's libido go down. So when we give you this multi-marker was actually used by women, yeah, and I think it's one one very big product when it comes to supporting you with energy and stamina. Yeah, the maca root helps to fight fatigue and boost physical and mental health performance. Yeah. It's been used in the Peruvian highlands by women a lot, and the Inca warriors for strength and endurance. So maca can be used by both men and women. Yeah, it helps regulate hormones such as, and it's normally actually called the sex hub of the Incas. Helps regulate estrogen and progesterone. So of course, giving the body the homeostasis that is supporting your body so that everything is in the correct balance. Yeah, enhances your libido and fertility, supporting your reproductive health in women dealing with hormonal imbalance, reduces menopausal symptoms, which help manage hot flashes, mood swings, and night sweats. Very, very important to have all this. Royal jelly, food given to the queen bee. Now, I know most of us, we used to think that we only get honey from the bees, but according to science, the good thing about using products which are thoroughly researched, yes, they are all natural, very natural, but scientifically researched. So the Forever Royal Jelly nourishes the skin and reduces hormonal fatigue. Okay? boosts the adrenal function, supporting the body's stress response, preventing excess cortisol, so which is the stress hormone, and how it affects our skin and weight. It is rich in the B vitamins, which support energy production, combating hormonal fatigue and brain fog. So if you have someone who's struggling with brain fog, kindly you can, recommend this for them. Supporting collagen production, yeah. So this reduces skin aging and dryness, yeah. And acne caused by estrogen decline, yeah. It enhances productive health, that is supports the ovary function and helps regulate irregular menstrual cycles. So the three products that I've talked about are actually more of the hormonal balance pack, but we also have other products which are supporting this, especially when it comes to the gut health. Remember the relationship I talked about, gut health and hormonal balance going hand in hand. So when you talk about the Forever Fields of Green, which is good in alkalizing and detoxifying the gut. So this helps to reduce estrogen, helps to remove the synthetic hormones and support liver detoxification. Yeah. So it also improves digestion and gut health, and contains the wheatgrass, alfalfa, barley grass for better digestion and nutrient absorption. In fact, this one, when you have a lot of acidity, is a very good product that helps to balance that out. Rich in chlorophyll and antioxidant, fights inflammation, which is key for reducing hormonal acne and bloating. Supports blood sugar balance, which of course it means stabilizing insulin levels, preventing cravings and weight gain from hormonal imbalances. Omega, one of my favorite products, yeah, a product that can be taken from 6-month-old to, to our parents and our parents' parents, no age bracket, I would say. Yeah, I remember when we were young, we used to be given cod liver oil. Yeah, so in Forever we have this amazing Arctic Sea supplement. This is a supplement not from just any other type of fish. This is fish oils from the best of the best fish. That is we're talking about the mackerel. We're talking about salmon, sardine. So how does this help with the hormonal imbalance? Omega-3 fish oil reduce hormonal acne and skin issues. Omega-3 fights inflammation and reduces redness, breakout, and eczema. Yeah. It also balances moods and reduces stress, supporting the brain and health by lowering cortisol, that is the stress hormone, preventing emotional eating and anxiety. This product actually helps your brain because of the fish oils, yeah. It helps with the brain functioning, cardiovascular system, joint inflammation. It's such an amazing all-round product, yeah. Helps to ease the premenstrual symptoms and hormonal fluctuation, supports the heart health and joint health, as I've just mentioned, reducing inflammation caused by hormonal imbalances and poor metabolism. A wonderful product. Very many benefits, but because of time, I'm going to just brush through very fast. We now get to Forever Active Pro B. These are probiotic, which is very good for taking care of the gut and hormonal health. It improves the gut health and digestion, contains 6 probiotic strands to enhance the gut flora. Yeah, balances estrogen and detoxifies toxins. A healthy gut prevents excess estrogen reabsorption. Remember at some point when I was mentioning the leaky gut, yeah, reducing hormonal acne and bloating. It boosts immunity and reduces inflammation. It helps prevent skin flare-ups and digestive discomfort. It supports mental well-being. A balanced gut helps regulate your mood, related hormones like serotonin and dopamine. Yeah, so all, like I'd mentioned before, a healthy gut, a happy gut, and the balanced hormones, means that even your mood is well. Yeah, you're doing well. So I'd mentioned at some point lots of minerals, and we have the Forever Naturemin, which gives you all the essential minerals that you need for hormonal balance, regulating the thyroid function. I'd mentioned the iodine and selenium during the training. before, supporting the bone and skin health. Calcium, magnesium, zinc, all these help prevent osteoporosis and maintain a youthful skin. Enhances energy levels, iron, potassium, which fight fatigue and weaknesses linked to hormonal imbalance. Remember, at some point I mentioned that there are those hormonal imbalance at some point can cause fatigue. Reduced PMS symptoms. Magnesium helps relieve cramps, anxiety, and bloating. Very, very crucial. So as I wind up, I want to thank you so much for being in this session. I know I've taken a lot of time, and I hope you've learned something. I really, really hope you have. So overall, when you eat properly, eating properly is essential in optimizing your immunity against illness and disease. Plant-based foods such as fruits and vegetables, spices and herbs are critical in, of course, ensuring that all your systems, including your immunity, are highly optimized. So this is our hormonal imbalance pack. I highly encourage you, if you know someone who's struggling, if it's you, or you know someone struggling with hormonal imbalance, you can have this. They're available in our store. And the best part is that now we also are aware about the health. So it's not just about the supplements, also the diet that you're taking. Another thing, like I'd mentioned before, I'm all about self-care, so definitely I will mention self-care. Embrace self-care. It means that when you do that, your mental health, your mood is going to be in a good space. When you're able to manage stress through, through mindfulness practices, it's very, very important. When you're able to set boundaries, saying, practicing self-compassion is very, very important. For you when it comes to your mental health, again, also it's very important to take breaks, give yourself time to recharge, do activities that stimulate your mind, and sometimes limit negative influences, the things that affect you, things that cause a lot of stress. Practice stress management techniques, both at work and at home. Yeah. Hormonal imbalances can cause acne, dryness, oiliness, pigmentation, premature aging. So try as much as possible to also take care of your skin. And remember, your skin is the largest organ, so definitely whatever imbalance there is in your body, most of the time it manifests also on your face, on your skin. Face, of course, because it's the most exposed part of your skin. So definitely it's very important. Practice deep breathing every few hours. Take a break, breathe. It's a simple thing when you think about it, but dedicating minutes to yourself every day can go a long way in your anxiety and stress response. So final thoughts, balance your hormones naturally. Try as much as you can to do it naturally, because using synthetic ways definitely causes a lot of other imbalances. And so you're always on a yo-yo effect. For me, I will always tell you, the best thing you can do for yourself is do it naturally, as we have talked about. So combining a nutrient-rich diet, stress management, healthy habits. I don't want to go through all this. I think we have already gone through because of time. So I'm going to read my answers. Hello, hello. Those of us who had taken the quiz. So if your answers were category one, that is, you said in your either male or female. If you said 0 to 3 yes answers, you are unlikely to have a hormonal imbalance unless you have problems with libido, impotence, reduced potency, or hot flashes. To be in perfect balance, however, the ideal score is 0. So focus on the areas that you can improve. So in the quiz, if you're in category 2, which was 4 to 6 yeses, okay, I've not seen the chat box, but I want to read because I'm panicking because of time. Yeah, so if you said yes to 4 to 6 answers, you are starting to show signs of hormonal imbalance. Tune up your weak areas to bring yourself back into balance and eliminate any problems. If you said more than 7 yeses, your hormones appear to be out of balance and in need of support. Focus on the diet and supplement suggestions that apply to you and pursue strategies to learn how to deal better with stress if this is an issue for you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking time to join us. As I wind up, I just want to thank you again for being part of this session. As I'd mentioned, the reason why I was focusing so much on women is much we are really focused on. As much as we've just celebrated the International Women's Day, I want to close by telling all of us that the theme of this year's International Women's Day was accelerate action. And how do we implement this? We implement this by equipping women with the tools to advocate for their health rights. We ignite innovation and drive lasting transformation. The power to shape a healthier and more equitable future lies in a collective action. Now is the time to accelerate progress, because when women rise, entire societies rise with them. And what better way to do that than joining us? We have an amazing, amazing training that's going to be happening on the 22nd of March at KICC. Make sure that you are there so that you can get to learn from a panel of seasoned, amazing, amazing leaders, doctors, nurses, and professionals, entrepreneurs who have really thrived in this business and also in their wellness, in the wellness industry. And they're out here to support us and make sure that the change we are talking about, we are actually impacting it. They are equipping us with the right strategy to change and transform our lives. You absolutely cannot miss this session. If you are here, make sure the person who invited you will give you the details. Make sure you pay for your ticket because tickets are running out. Yeah. So thank you so much. That is all I have for today, and enjoy your evening.